Welcome back to Hike, Hill, Hustle. I'm your host, Randy Black, and this is the second of the third 2025 wrap up podcast episode. So, in wrapping up 2025, I want to talk about my races and hiking because hike, hill, hustle. The first installment of wrapping up 2025 dealt with the three funerals, should have been four, and no plane tickets. And the last one I'm going to be posting soon, and that will take care of 2025. And so going forward for 2026, I would try my best to stay regular and post on task like I did last year. The last few months of 2025 was pretty rough for me and leading into 2026. So I'm hoping that I'm back and you give me a little grace and forgive me for getting off course. Hopefully you can keep on hiking, healing, and hustling with me. All right, so let's talk about races. I did 12 in-person races in 2025. That was a goal on my vision board. And it started out in February with the hot chocolate race. Now the hot chocolate race was cold in February of last year. It was the first time I had done an in-person race in literally years. So I had wanted to start racing, or really running. I shouldn't even say racing. I started running a little bit in 2021. And I started with virtual races just to kind of get my feet wet. Nothing really serious. It was the first time that I realized how absolutely slow I was. Now I can say since that first time or race that that I did, where I actually saw my pace, from then to now I have made amazing improvements. That, coupled with my hiking, my endurance has definitely improved. So I will continue doing races in 2026. I wasn't sure if I was, but after giving it some consideration, I think I'm going to keep trying with different goals for 2026. And that's going to be in my 2026 video of what my goals are. But I want to go ahead and wrap up 2025 and talk about my races. And I have some of my medals here. That's just not all of them. There's some more. And also, here goes some of my race bibs. Now, I do have my race bib for the first race. I was number 8075 at my hot chocolate race. That was in February of 2025. And here's the medal that went with it. I put my medals on a Christmas tree in my bedroom. My daughter suggested that I put it in the living room so people can see it. And I may do that. I may actually do it today. But we shall see. But let's just go in and start talking about some of these races. I'm going to give a little bit of information on it just to give you an idea if you're interested in doing in-person races. So the first was the hot chocolate race, like I've already said. And most of these races have different distances. They usually have a 5K, some have a 10, some have a 15. Some will do a half marathon, and some will be fulls. I don't ever do much more than a 5. Okay, unless I say otherwise, these races are 5Ks. And there's some that were not 5Ks, but for the most part, I'm a 5K girl. The hot chocolate race is actually a good experience. It is downtown Atlanta. There are hills. And it's in February, so it's bound to be cold. So much so that they canceled the in-person race for 2026. So I was signed up for the 2026 hot chocolate race, but they canceled the in-person, and I was moved to virtual. So I have a couple weeks to do the virtual, and I will be doing that. In March, I did two races, the Publix and the Northside Beltline. The Northside Beltline is for members of the Atlanta Track Club, which last year and again this year, I am a member of the Atlanta Track Club. So Atlanta Track Club did a three race series. It was the Northside Beltline, it's Northside, Westside, and Northside, Westside, and Eastside. Those were three different races, and you only got one medal for all three races if you completed a series. For 2026, they've added a fourth, which is Southside. I was not a member of Atlanta Track Club when that 4 series race. So I missed the first one, and I don't even know if I really would have signed up for a 4 series race. I'm not even sure. I don't know. It don't matter because I can't. So 2 races in March. The Publix is a huge race. Great sponsors, great swag. It's downtown. If you're not afraid of big crowds, that's a great race. A smaller one would be those Atlanta Track Club races, like those series. They do draw a good crowd, but not as big as like the Hot Chocolate and the Publix race. In April, I did the Mimosa. That is at Piedmont Park if you're in Metro Atlanta. It's a great race. It's not nearly as large as maybe the Publix or Hot Chocolate, but it is a good bit of people. I do like the vibe. It is during the Dogwood Festival, so you can stay and be early for the Dogwood Festival. I didn't, and yes, you do get a mimosa. And I will be doing that race again in 2026. I skipped June and went on to July, and that was a Peachtree Road race. And a Peachtree, nope, I'm missing one. Mimosa was in April. In May, I did the Atlanta Women's 4-miler. So that was a 4-mile race. That was a good race. They had a great blasted medal for that, and I have it. It doesn't matter because you're not gonna be able to see it anyway, but you can see it on my social media. I'll make sure I get all of the pictures, and so you can see what I did. I liked it because it was for women. It rained that day, and I think that's one of the bibs that just tore completely apart, and I don't have the bib for it, but I do have a picture of it. So if you are a woman and you like being empowered by other women, that's a great race to do. Then in July, I did the Peachtree Road race. The Peachtree Road race is in Atlanta Hills in July. Huge race. And it's a 10K. There are no options. It's just a 10K. I knew that, but I didn't know that. I've done an episode about that Peachtree Road race, so we're going to keep going. The second installment in that 3 series for Atlanta Track Club Beltline, it was the West Side in August, so I did that. And I skipped September because in August, I actually had an infection in my leg. And so I had to take September off from running to get healed. So in October, I did 2 races. I did The Race, which is a race that was created by Black women. I love it. They do great work for the community. That weekend, you can do volunteering. Now, here's their medal. The thing about that race is vibes, top notch. If I had to rank the races, that would be my number 1 as far as vibes. I'm not saying Atlanta Track Club does not do a good job. They do. What I am saying is the race is better because they have a DJ, they have lots of vendors, you're dancing, they have all this stuff going on, they have a band. It's just, to me, I just really enjoyed the vibe. What I didn't like is they don't do same day pickup. Race day pickup. I don't live near where this is, and so it is an hour for me to get there. So we're talking 2 days in a row, an hour each way. So that part, not a huge fan of. And the hills. They didn't create the hills, but they did create the course. And that is not exclusive of the race. All of these blasted things have hills. Not all of them. Some hills are bigger than others, but it's Atlanta, so hills is to be expected. My second race in October was the PNC. Yeah. That was a rainy day too. November, I had to do 3 races to end the year. I actually had thought about doing a 4th race in December, but I really couldn't find one that I like. I'm not saying they don't exist. I just couldn't find one. So the 3 races in November was the 3rd installment, and that was the East Side Beltline. So I did get a 1 medal for those 3 races because I completed all 3 in the series. The Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And then there was the Turkey Trot, Invesco QQQ, Atlanta Track Club. So all 3 of those races in November were sponsored or hosted by Atlanta Track Club. Now, to go back and tell you the races that I liked the most, I've already talked about the race. They were top notch for the vibes. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, as far as causes is concerned, that would be my number 1. But also, I didn't do a lot of races that were tied to a charity or causes. So by default, they get number 1 spot. I did like the turkey trot. I won't do the Invesco QQQ this year because there are so many other turkey trots and I just want to try something different. No shade to them. I just want to try something different for 2026. And as far as 10Ks are concerned, if you're looking for a 10K, there are several that you can do. The Peachy Rovers race, as far as iconic races, out there, right up there. But also so is Publix and Hot Chocolate. I like Hot Chocolate because of the after. You know, you get the thing of hot chocolate. They have music. It's a whole vibe. Now, like I said, Atlanta Track Clubs does a really good job on their big races like Publix, and I don't think they do hot chocolate though. So let me take that back. So they do a good job as far as vibes, but the race is better. So if you're looking for big races, look for stuff like Publix, look for hot chocolate, look for stuff like that if you want a big race. If you're looking for something smaller, Atlanta Track Club and other organizers do smaller races, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 people. The Chili Willy that I did on my birthday is even smaller. So if you're looking for smaller races, I think they're called 5-star. Oh, I can't remember. But this is the one from the Chili Willy of this year. And that was a 10K. Yeah, it's called 5-star. 5starntp.com. Check them out. Their races are actually cheaper and they have smaller races. And, their medals are just as good as anybody else's. I mean, there you go. See? I mean, it don't matter. So I've done races from people other than Atlanta Track Club. So if you try these, if you're looking for races. Now let's go into hiking. I did a lot of hiking. I hiked in April, May, August, September, November, and December. Okay. You can look through my social media, but to go really quickly, because I've done videos about my hikes. I did the bamboo forest. I don't think I talked about the bamboo forest, but I did enjoy that because it's very interesting. It's hard to find a bamboo forest though, just so you know. It's not impossible, but it's not like once you go in, boom, there's a bamboo forest. It does not work like that, but we did find it. We did have to ask somebody and they told us, and they do have maps, but it's not that clear. But we did find it. So I did talk to a woman the day that we went to the bamboo forest, and she said, I've been here several times and I've never seen it. And I was like, really? I didn't come all the way down here and not find this. The day we went, it was on a Sunday and it did rain. Ugh, I was so mad. But we were able to do the hike, see the bamboo forest. I really enjoyed it. In May, we went to Vogel State Park and stayed the weekend, did a bunch of different hikes there. My daughter discovered that she loves Helton Creek Falls. We're going to go back again in May. In August, we did Fort Yargo State Park. I enjoyed it, anything with a water feature. So you can also do fishing if you like that type of thing. I don't, but my daughter does, and so she did, one of my girls. In September, I did 3. I did Cascade Springs, which is the first solo hike I've ever done, and so I wanted to go back. My first solo hike was Cascade Springs Preserve, Nature Preserve or something of that nature. And I went back Labor Day 2025. It's not the same. I've done so many hikes. I still like the hike, but there was fruit in the water, and that was what it appeared to us, that there was some type of ritual or sacrifice, and they were putting intentionally these things of fruit, and I did not like that. It gave me the ick. We did Constitution Park, which is the Doll Head Trail. Love that. It was so freaking different, and it's paved. It's swampy. I don't know. I really like the vibes of that. I really enjoyed that. If you're looking for something that's different, Doll's Head Trail, it's mostly paved. And it's an easy hike. It's very, very easy. Cascade Springs can be easy, but it does, if you decide not to go up the hill, then it's easy. And if hills don't bother you, go there. Sweetwater Creek, if you like water features, that was really nice. Cochrane shows. There was so many people at Cochrane shows. We went on Christmas Day, and it was packed with people, and I was really mad. It was so many people. But it was a good hike. And then I went Vickery Creek. Now, the day we went to Vickery Creek, I don't ordinarily go to Vickery Creek, but because I've been there so many times. The reason why we went is because my little cousins, my young cousins, teenage cousins, We had gone to South Carolina, and they came back with us. Had been in the car for 3 hours. They really wanted to go hiking. And my daughter and I was like, fine, we'll take you hiking. And we were going to go to North Georgia Mountain, but we had been in the car for 3 hours. And I did not want to make that drive up the North Georgia Mountain. So we went to Vicar Creek, and I really wanted them to see a good waterfall. They had a great time. So when they come back, I can take them to North Georgia Mountain. That's not something they had to do on this trip in December. So there is my hike and my races for 2025. I look forward to doing these things again in 2026, and I will go into more details of what the plan is for Hike, Heal, and Hustle when in terms of races and hikes. Thank you for tuning in. Please keep staying with me. I know I was gone for quite some time, but it was a much needed break. Until next time, keep hiking, stay healed, and hustle with intention. Thank you.